Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast. And we are looking at Thursday's two-game NBA slate, looking specifically in this one at the second game of the night as the Clippers and the Nuggets are back in LA, looking to see if Denver's going to win or we're going to force a game 7 here. Similar situation over there in Detroit, so make sure you are subscribed to that channel. Don't miss the other episode we have up with the Knicks and Pistons, and follow all that action for the postseason moving forward, as we will have videos for each and every game now, as long as there are some here in the NBA playoffs. And one more reminder too, that we do have the link to the in the description of this video for the email newsletter that comes out on Fridays here for thelines.com. Really great and helpful way to get some info on the betting week that we just had, and looking forward into what we've got for the weekend and the upcoming week in sports betting. So hope you guys check that out. Nate and I also have a bonus parlay that we put in there every Friday in the newsletter. So definitely helpful to you guys getting some plus money heaters. Let's go ahead and look at your first play here, Nate, for this Clips and Nugs matchup.
Ivica Zubac, over 17.5 points. And I mean, frankly, there's some positive rebound regression coming his way. So if you want to take the points and say just 10 boards, then you're at plus money. I mean, after the Nuggets basically did not miss in game 5, there should be some missed shots. There should be some rebounding opportunities. He's averaging nearly 5 OREBs in this series. Jokic is, not a terrible paint presence defensively, but he's often out, jumping out of position to contest other people and then leaving Zoo to get those putbacks. So he actually has the highest frequency of scores on putbacks in the playoffs, and only Jared Allen has a higher field goal percentage than Zoo on pick and roll plays on the highest volume in the playoffs, 6.4 of those per game. We can talk about game 6 Harden, but that generally means Harden shooting less and looking to dime up a little bit more, take a little pressure off himself because he has not shined in these moments. And I mean, the Nuggets, since Kawhi's historically good game 2, have been all over him with a little bit more attention. So Zoo is actually tied with Kawhi at 21.7 points per game since then. He's actually has more front court touches and is more points per touch than Kawhi because he's getting the ball in position to score, 71% on paint touches. He's got 75% shooting on elbow touches. He's actually got like a bit of a bag now if you get him the ball 10 to 15 feet away. I mean, I know this isn't like big news to anybody who knows that he's in the All-NBA discussion this year as a fantastic two-way player, but that's also key. He does stay out of foul trouble. He'll be out there as long as Jokic is, basically. And so I like him to continue this high hit rate here of 18 points plus.
Yeah, he's been awesome. He is awesome. Like you said, real ones know about Zoo. So continue to feel like you're getting some value. I mean, these lines are getting high for him, but he's playing the minutes. And like you said, he's much improved. Always probably has been better on defense than he's given credit for, but also seems like he's just always in the right spot and knows how to handle, the up fakes from Jokic and all the pivots and everything. So that does keep him in the game, like you said. I'm going to go to Kawhi in this one. At some point, it's got to happen again. 25 plus points. This would seem like the back against the wall. I'm taking it for 25 plus, and I'm taking the Clippers for a W here. I wanted to just kind of add the Clippers winning this game. Like, I think we should we shouldn't just like pencil them in. I think they've been the favorites. I mean, it's wild to me that the Clippers, I mean, just starting with their money line, obviously, and I'll get into Kawhi in a second. It's wild to me that before this last loss, they were minus 160 to win the series when it was knotted up and Denver had 2 home games. And I think the books and everybody were like, they could easily have already been, the series could be over, number one, or it could, at the very least, could be like 3-1 very easily. It's 2-2, but Nuggets came out at home, do what the Nuggets do, especially at home. And that's the key to the money line bet at the start is not in Denver at this point. And so a lot of the stuff that goes along with that and the crucial home court advantage that this team has had forever, and mostly since they have Jokic here, who just beats you up for 40-something minutes with the right plays, tiring you out on defense. It's not quite the same here in LA, back at much closer to sea level. So that's a big part of it. The away stuff for Denver just doesn't track, and it holds in this series a bit too, even though they did have that nice win on Saturday where the Clippers could have put this series basically away. But I think it's too correlated to Kawhi having a good game, and I agree that James Harden doesn't have a good game. So if I'm looking for where these points are coming from, right? Like Paul George ain't walking through that door. It's going to have to be Kawhi. Not that I would really trust him if he did in the playoffs. But for Kawhi, like at this point, he's taking more than 15 shots in the game that he went over. at some point, even though they are bringing that double, they're going to need to find a way. And I trust Lou. I trust Ty Lue to get get him the ball in a different spot, in a different position on the court than just back to the basket near the baseline or on the wing one-on-one with the incredibly strong Aaron Gordon, right? It's going to have to be a little bit more of like help him get to his pull-up shot over, like, before Aaron Gordon can really gather himself, use some screens in some way, but the screens have to be higher up. So I just see a lot of ways that they can improve putting Kawhi in the position to do it, to get the shots, because that's what it comes down to, right? Like the correlation here between his unders in this series and his overs are, did you take shots, right? How many did you take? Because in the game that he went over, we're talking about 19, but he also went to the free throw line 5 times. In the other games, like, he did have one game where he hit 22, but everything else was 15, 15, 17. Right. So, like, yeah, there was one game with really good shooting. The bad shooting in the last couple of games needs to regress positively at some point. So I'm still going to bank on Kawhi. And there's just, if he scores 25, they're in a great spot to win. But let me put it this way. If he doesn't score 25, I do not like them to cover 6.5 at the very least. And there's a good shot that they would end up losing this game.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, the Clippers do have a fantastic home court advantage in their own right as of this year. You said the Nuggets have for a while, but the new Intuit Dome. I mean, we saw them just blow the doors off the Nuggets in Game 3,
Yeah.
and then at least storm back and have a chance to win Game 4. So yeah, I think they can win this game without Kawhi necessarily having 25 if he hovers around the 21 mark, but. That being said, like, you're not turning his water off completely. Like, even though he's missed a few shots, which he did not early in the series, like, that 25 points is he's an easy 25, like, for sure. And yes, I will fade James Harden. Under 26.5 points and rebounds. Leave out the assists here, although I don't think that you're really that in danger of him getting 9 or 10 dimes here and getting over the total PRA. But there's a chance we see like a 17-11 line. I could see that for sure. As Harden, if things are rolling for them and he's not forced to take on a big scoring burden, he could be diming up. But I mean, Harden, game 6 or 7, or the last 2 games of a series over the last 3 years, he is 9-1 to the under against this line, and not even close. He's averaging 20 PR, 14.5 points per game, abysmal shooting splits. He trends down over the course of a series, which he's doing once again here. Went off in Game 1. Since then, 19 points, 5.4 rebounds, 33 PRA. Only 6.6 points per game on about the same amount of pick and roll plays. So he's not even getting into his bags for stuff. Shooting 33% on ISO with the step back 3 not necessarily working. That should be the weak point against Denver, who's bad on above the break threes. But Christian Brown is taking on that primary assignment. He's kind of tough for Harden to beat. Like, he's very young and athletic, and Harden with all those miles on him, he's not getting the separation that he would need, either stepping back or getting the rim to set other people up. And I wonder if Denver even figured him out at the end of the regular season. His last 2 regular season, it was 15.5 points per game with a 74 offensive rating against this Nuggets team. As far as the rebounding goes, like, they tried him on everybody defensively in that last game, right? He started, and it seemed like the Nuggets game plan at the start was like, get Harden on the baseline, like, you go to the corner, so he's the low man, and then we'll just penetrate, and there will be no rim protection. And it was just so easy. So that eventually Ty Lue, out of desperation, was like, Harden guard Jokic and, like, try to like get out of there. Like, I don't know. So like he's just not going to be in a very good position to rebound as he's getting targeted like that, or as the Clippers are trying to protect him and just be like, stay on the perimeter, stay with a 3-point shooter. Don't worry, Zubac and Leonard can rebound. And so he grabbed 8 of his 9 rebound chances last game out. Otherwise, the previous 2 where he was 5 of 9 rebound chances. He's not necessarily going to burn you that much on the boards, you would think.
Love it. Yeah. I love the 36.5 PRA. You mentioned not being scared of under on the assists, and I fully agree. I like all of it together. He doesn't have the touch time. He doesn't have the same amount of I've just got the ball and it's my decision. Do I want to go to the bucket or get an assist? So I like that. And I just want to touch on what you said, because I have never seen a zone defense the way that it is, because what's happening is Zubac, they do not want Zubac being the first defender on Jokic when Zubac gets the ball in the paint, right? Or like the high paint. usually the guy who's the where Zubac is standing in front of the rim, the main rim protector in the zone, comes out to meet that guy. They don't want him to do that. So they're dropping him like literally under the basket. I've never seen somebody play that low as the main guy in the middle on defense for the zone. He's going so far down so that somebody like Bogey or Harden has to take him at the foul line and be like, just be a body in front of him so that when he gets to Zubac, who's coming up to meet him, at least that there's somebody like hanging on Jokic to take his arm out essentially so that Zubac can have a better job at defending him. I love Ty Lue. That's really what I'm saying here. That defense is awesome. And it is a reason that Harden is like now guarding Jokic a lot, which is wild. And he put him in that position. But love the under for him on all of it. And then I'm going to go for an over. I found another guy I like it because when you take the under on Harden, there's probably going to be some stats that you then have to spread somewhere, right? If you think that this total is even close to what it should be. And I think Nick Batum has another big game in this one. I loved the rebounds for him in the last game, over 2.5. And now that's 3.5 for plus money. And he's just not getting the minutes for that. He had 6 last game on 8 attempts, but I still think he's just plug him in for 3 rebounds because he's playing about 18 to 22 minutes. He's a very, very important role player and he's playing down low on the zone. And really, even when he's not in the zone, he's guarding somebody like in the corner. And it's really, really helpful for his boards. So he's definitely helping crash. I think we see even less Ben Simmons. Like his minutes are awful, man. I mean, it's so ridiculous to watch him cross half court and just get rid of the ball as fast as he can. Fear he might get fouled away from the basket. The hack of Simmons is a thing. So even the like 12-ish, 15-ish minutes that he's playing, like I still think that just adds, he keeps going down. And Batum takes maybe like 3 to 4 of those and you get him up to 20, 24 minutes. He's just been so helpful for them. The threes, if they weren't so juiced on the 1.5, I would like that as well for Batum, because I think of the minutes, him being out there and him being such a good outlet from the 3-point line for this team. He was over 2 in the last game. Obviously there wasn't much of a game in the last game. By the time, we got to halftime, it was pretty much over. They took away that 3 at the end, but like if that had been up, then they were already down like 15 at the half. Instead, they were down 12 or whatever, and it just got worse as soon as the third quarter started. So it was not a Nick Batum game, but this is at home role player. And in this series, when you just look at his averages in general, in terms of the PRA on the season, he's at about 8. But if you look at him in the games that he plays 18 to 22 minutes, he's at 11.6 PRA per game. And like I said, I think there's a couple more outs where he gets 3 to 4 more minutes than he's been seeing.
Yeah, he almost got this without scoring a single point last time out, right? I mean, and he only got 2 threes up in 21 minutes. Previously, he's been getting 5 or 6 threes up per game in this series, and is definitely going to be more reliable. Definitely a veteran to rely on here in Game 6. I mean, both him and Bogey are intriguing in terms of like picking up the slack if Harden is once again laying a dud offensively, or if Chris Dunn gets played off. Then those guys will come right in, and we'll see what they can do with the crowd at their back.
Yep, 100%. Feels like those type of guys. Maybe a Norm Powell, but we can't have that many overs. And I think Zoo's in a better spot to have a bigger game than Norm once again, who still seems to have a pretty low ceiling on him compared to what we saw in the reg season. But going to be a good game, I hope. I mean, if the Clippers don't just blow them out because of just the Intuit Dome being such an incredible arena right now, I can't say anything else about it, then yeah, this is going to be an awesome game. Let's put it that way. So that's all the time we have for you in this one, though. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We have that episode up for the Pistons and Knicks as well on Thursday night. And we'll be back for those Friday games as well. So until we see you next, happy betting.